Hi everyone, I'm Heather VanderMyde, and today I want to share a year-end recap of what happened in the Outer Banks real estate market in 2025 and what it means as we head into 2026. Overall, 2025 finished on a strong and encouraging note for the Outer Banks. December ended up being one of the best months of the entire year, with unit sales up 14% and total sales volume jumping nearly 28% compared to November. That momentum carried through the end of the year and gave us a really positive outlook going into the new one. For the year as a whole, the market posted a 4% increase in total units sold and about 2.5% increase in total sales volume year over year. Even with interest rates fluctuating throughout the entire year, buyer confidence clearly returned for the second half of 2025. One of the biggest factors helping the market was mortgage rates. By the end of December, the average 30-year fixed rate dropped to around 6.15%, which was the lowest level we've seen in about 15 months. That shift alone brought a lot of buyers back off the sidelines. Looking at pricing, the average sales price across the Outer Banks in 2025 came in just over $755,000. The median sales price landed around $620,000, which actually represents a small year-over-year increase. So overall, prices remained strong and surprisingly stable. Inventory stayed tight for most of the year. By the end of December, there were fewer than 600 active residential listings across the entire Outer Banks, which is still very low by historical standards. Average days on the market ended the year around 71 days. That's slower than the peak frenzy years, but still very healthy and very far from a slow market. Home sales picked up coming into 2026, which we just had the strongest December for home sales we've seen in nearly 3 years. And that matters because December is usually a slower month in real estate. But 5.1% more homes sold in December than in November. It means momentum is building. Buyers are stepping back in and more homes are selling. They're not waiting till spring, and maybe you shouldn't either. If you want to sell now while the inventory is still low and get ahead of the spring crowd, let's connect. Now, let's talk about how some of our key Outer Banks communities perform, because that is where the market really starts to tell a more detailed story. Starting up north in Corolla, this area continues to be one of the strongest and highest priced markets on the Outer Banks. In 2025, Corolla's median sales price finished just over $1.1 million, keeping it firmly in luxury territory. Inventory remained relatively tight and just over 130 active listings at year-end. Average days on the market in Corolla hovered around 100 days, which tells us buyers are active, but they're being more strategic. In this price range, pricing and presentation matter more than ever, and buyers are paying close attention to rental history, condition, and long-term value. Corolla remains a very solid market for well-positioned luxury and investment properties. Duck continues to stand out as one of the most exclusive and desirable communities on the Outer Banks. The median sales price in Duck ended the year around $1.5 million, making it one of the most highest priced markets anywhere on the Outer Banks. Even though the number of total sales is smaller, demand remains extremely strong. Inventory in Duck stayed very limited throughout the year, which continues to support pricing and keeps this area competitive for both buyers and sellers. Duck is a great example of a market where scarcity and lifestyle continue to drive long-term value. In Nags Head, we saw a very balanced and healthy market in 2025. Nags Head continues to offer a wide range of price points, from primary residences to second homes and investment properties, which keeps buyer activity steady even in shifting conditions. This area remains one of the most active and versatile markets on the Outer Banks, especially for buyers who want a central location, beach access, and strong rental potential without jumping into the luxury price tiers. Kill Devil Hills remained one of the most active year-round markets on the Outer Banks. With more inventory, more primary residences, and strong demand from the local and relocating buyers, Kill Devil Hills continues to be a cornerstone of the OBX market. Homes here tend to move more consistently than in some of the luxury markets, and pricing stayed solid throughout 2025, especially for well-maintained properties in good locations. This area is especially attractive for buyers looking for value, walkability, and long-term livability. Kitty Hawk also had a strong year, particularly for buyers looking for a mix of residential living and second home opportunities. Median prices in Kitty Hawk stayed in the mid-six-figure range, and days on market remained relatively low compared to some of the higher-end areas. Kitty Hawk continues to be one of the more stable and reliable markets on the Outer Banks, especially for buyers who want proximity to the beach without the premium pricing of Duck or Corolla. Looking at the broader luxury and waterfront market, 2025 saw 49 homes sell for over $2 million, 4 sales over $4 million, and the highest sale of the year being at $4.85 million oceanfront in Corolla. Oceanfront properties saw slightly fewer sales compared to last year, while Soundfront properties actually experienced major price growth, with average and median prices jumping more than 40% year over year. That is a lot. What this tells us is that buyers are being more intentional, not less active. Now, on a personal note, I also want to share how our team performed within this overall market. I am so proud of our team. In 2025, the VanderMyde Group closed 57 total transactions, representing over $44.8 million in total sales volume. That means our team accounted for about 3.2% of all sales volume across the entire MLS, which is a strong share in a very competitive Outer Banks market. One stat I'm especially proud of is our list to sell price ratio. Our listings sold for an average of 97.8% of list price, compared to the overall market average of about 96%. That means our sellers consistently walked away closer to their asking price than the market as a whole, even in a year where buyers were more cautious and strategic. So what does all this mean as we head into 2026? Lower rates, improving consumer confidence, and limited inventory all point towards a stronger and more active market in the year ahead. For sellers, well-priced and well-prepared homes are still moving, and often moving quickly. For buyers, there are more opportunities than we've seen in recent years, but strategy and timing matter more than ever. And for me, my focus remains the same, helping my clients make smart, informed decisions, whether they're buying their first home, investing in a vacation rental, or selling a property they've owned for years. If you'd like a personalized look at what these market trends mean for your specific area or your specific property, I would love to connect.